After Forts Clark and Hatteras fell to Federal forces in August 1861, the Union commander of the garrison, Colonel Rush Hawkins, was worried about a Confederate counterattack. In October, after being reinforced from Newport News, Virginia with the 20th Indiana, Hawkins sent those troops to establish an outpost to the north.
Hawkins will establish the 20th Indiana camp at what modern-day Rodanthe, North Carolina, about 40 miles away from Hatteras and the main Union garrison and fleet. It's a great opportunity to listen in on the Confederates. Unfortunately, they're 10 miles within the Confederate campsites at Roanoke Island.
Trouble began when the Federal vessel Fanny, sent to bring supplies to the new outpost, was captured by Confederates that had left their base on Roanoke Island to investigate the Union activity. On October 4, 1861, Colonel Ambrose R. Wright moved to retake Hatteras Island with his 3rd Georgia and the 8th North Carolina.
North of Rodanthe, the 3rd Georgia will land and starts to press the 20th Indiana back. The idea is to use the 8th North Carolina to come down the Outer Banks and cut it off somewhere beyond Kinnikeet, or what is today Avon, North Carolina, and sandwich the regiment between the two Confederate units. Unfortunately, as they head south, the 8th North Carolina runs on to Gull Island, another shoal on the interior part of Pamlico Sound. And with that, the entire race becomes one-sided. The Confederates chased the 20th Indiana back to the lighthouse.
When locals saw the 20th Indiana flee toward the south, they joined in the panicked withdrawal.
People from the Indiana Regiment make it down to Hatteras and inform Hawkins, who has brought the rest of his regiment up from Hatteras Inlet. As the Confederates stop at Kinnikeet, they can see the dust clouds of the 9th New York coming up, and they know fresh troops and fresh ships are coming up from Hatteras. They about face and start running back to their ships, with the Union gunboat Monticello firing from across the peninsula.
The Confederate flotilla was no match for the Monticello, and the Southern forces would be forced to call off their attack. The battle was derisively called the Chicamacomico races because both sides ran up and down the beaches during the fight. Confederate forces returned to Roanoke Island, the Union troops to Fort Hatteras. Hatteras Island would remain in Federal control for the rest of the Civil War.